Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner, with another episode of VSW. Thank you, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner. Unfortunately for this, I am not alongside the Saber Wolf, nor am I alongside Brian or Panchu. I am running this solo right now. One's at work, the other's at work. The other is collecting sports stuff. Here we go. We have an interview with Jason Dredd. Here he is right now. Hello.
Hello, this is Jason Dredd.
Hey, what is up, Jason? I was just telling my fans how today I am running everything solo. Everybody, two people had to work. One had to go cover sports. The other one went off, I don't know, on a safari somewhere. So it is just me interviewing you, the Versace Stoner. But it is going to be a great time. I welcome you aboard onto the show. We are great to have you here. I love introducing new people to this show. And this is a great opportunity to do such.
Absolutely. It's good to be able to reach a different audience in that area because I'm stationed pretty much in the Southwest right now. So,
and that's what the whole VSW is all about. I'm from New England. Born and raised. I'm very passionate about the New England wrestling scene. But I've watched a lot of different independent scenes around the country, because Facebook has been around for a long time, but I started, my wrestling Facebook about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I started meeting people from here to California, and everybody was, I asked them actually for, footage and, YouTube links, just so I could start, seeing all the independents across the country. It worked very well. I got to get a lot of names, meet a lot of people, and get to kind of see, what's out there as far as different promotions. Because, New England, I want to say, it's a top leading area for wrestling, but it's not the only top leading area.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know what I mean? And then from there, I branched out, and, with the VSW. And like I said, starting to get more people now as the world opened up. As we know, we were in a pandemic. I don't know how it was for you down there, but over here we were in total lockdown. There was nothing we could do, no wrestling. There was, we couldn't even hang out with people.
It was very similar here. A lot of the shows that I was on, they got canceled or pushed back again. Couldn't train for a little while. It was definitely about the same here, where we just couldn't do much, and a lot of people make the mistake of depending on that. And obviously, I'm smarter than the average person, so I was fine. But it's good. It's good to be back and being able to do what I do best.
So you were able to overcome a lot of the obstacles, which is great to hear. I'm happy to hear that. I kind of like to touch base with people, if they made it through and how they did it. But that's good to hear that you were able to, just kind of push that stuff aside, work your way through it. Now you can be back at it. I'm sure shows, as I'm seeing here, shows are opening up every weekend. We got 3 or 4 going on. I am sure that is the same maybe going on in your case, in your area.
Oh, yes, absolutely. We come back and it's been full force for me. I'm filling my calendar up all the way through the end of the year right now. So, it's been, like I said, I hit it full force, came back stronger than ever.
So, you're Jason Dredd. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like I said, my audience maybe I got about 5 listeners that might know who you are. And that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying because, like I tell everybody that I bring on here, It's not about, how many people know your name. It's about the exposure. It's about maybe that one. If you can get one person notable to know your name, then you got like 5 million people that know your name. If you've just got, 10 people that know your name, well, then, you just got 10 people. It's all about that one person that sees you. So, maybe from this, somebody great will hear it. And that's what I hope with the VSW. Somebody great will hear these interviews and be like, I want that kid on my show. I want to, give this person a chance on AEW Dark one day. And that's my hopes of this whole channel, is bringing people on, getting them noted, and getting them out there. So we'd love to hear about you and, who are you, Jason Dredd?
Well, for those that are listening and they don't know who I am, it won't be long before they absolutely find out who I am and what I'm about, but I can give you a small little preview. So a little bit about my backstory. I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee, which is about 17 hours from where I currently live in Albuquerque. So I moved out to Albuquerque mostly because I wanted to hone my skills and improve on my craft as professional wrestling. I went here, and that's why I basically just left everything that I knew to come to Albuquerque and train. And I wanted to be trained by the best. So, when you want to be trained by the best, who do you go to? You go to Gino Rivera, the Puerto Rican pit bull, the Frank Sinatra of the Spanish Mafia. So I trained under Gino Rivera at Off the Ropes. And for those of you who don't know who Gino Rivera is, Gino Rivera was trained by the Santino Bros Wrestling Academy. And if you know anything about anything when it comes to wrestling, you know that Santino Bros Wrestling Academy is the top tier professional wrestling training schools. And that's what we're doing here in Albuquerque. We have the only school in New Mexico, Off the Ropes. So I trained under Gino Rivera. I've been training for close to 2 years now. And so far I've traveled from here to Colorado, West Texas, Arizona, California. I've been through Nevada. So I'm making myself pretty well known here in the Southwest.
You're really ripping through the territories down there.
Absolutely. Whenever you're as good as I am, you have no choice. You have to establish yourself in more than one place. That's exactly what I've done.
And that's great to hear. Like I said, I know wrestling is a national sport now. It's no longer a territorial sport. But in a way, it really is. I mean, unless you got somebody that's dedicated to covering the promotion that you're in, or the promotions and, cares enough to put their product out there in a way that, other viewers can view it, whether it be, pay-per-view, pay-per-view, whatever it might be. It's very hard to follow, everybody on the scene.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this. If I was to say, I don't know, give me, you just told me a numerous amount of states you've worked in and wrestled, and that's very impressive. So if I would say, what are your top favorite 3 promotions you worked for? Who would you give me?
To be honest with you, everything to me is the same. So I don't stick around long enough to care about what's next for that promotion. I show up and I do what I do, and I dominate the talent, and I move on to the next thing.
So it doesn't even matter. You're not there to chase the gold. You're not there to be the king of the promotion. You're there to make your name known, who you are, and then on to the next one.
Oh, trust me, I'm there to chase the gold. That's what I was destined to do. However, that's not the only thing. I'm trying to dominate Texas. I'm trying to dominate Colorado. All those states mentioned above, I dominate those states. As far as the best promotions, the amount that's out there is pretty high, and I've wrestled with some high caliber promotions. And I'll be honest, I can't really quantify them because I don't look backwards. I only look forwards.
So if I was just to say I'm saying it. This is just for the reason I'm asking this would be the next question is how would I get fans to find you if they wanted to see matches? Normally it would be through the promotion. So with you just bouncing like that, I should just tell my fan base just Google search you or YouTube you.
Absolutely. Currently, I have a match coming up in Renegade Championship Wrestling in Colorado. I'm in the main event for the Renegade Championship on June 12th. So that's my most current one.
Oh, so talk about chasing gold. You got it almost, very close in your grasp right now.
Absolutely. I'm also working in Tapa, Texas, in Amarillo, Texas on June 26th. South Plains Championship, Squared Circle Pro in Lubbock, Texas on July 24th. And then I might be traveling up to Kansas in September and October. So I've got a lot going on. The easiest way to find me is on Facebook and Instagram. I'm constantly posting, talking about these promotions that I'm going to be on. So the best way to, if somebody's like, hey, what's going on in Colorado? What's going on in this area? Look me up because I'm always posting about something when it comes to the Southwest.
That's great to know, and that's great that you do that. I mean, like I said, some people only post, little bits in here and there, and it's very hard for fans or even, sports fans or anybody that doesn't live in that area to cover these things unless we get people sharing, and some people don't think it's worth the time to share these things or whether it be, sometimes you don't get the biggest crowd in an indie event. I get that. I've been to shows where I've maybe seen, 40, 50 people. But I've also at that show seen some of the best wrestling ever, and I put it out there, and once it hit my YouTube, it took off. So, I mean, you can't qualify what the crowd looks like to what the wrestling looks like because it just doesn't match. It will never match up most of the time. So what I always tell people to do is, just focus on the wrestling.
My rebuttal to that comment would be, why wouldn't you? If I'm going to be on a show, I want people there to see me. I want them to look at me. I want them to buy that ticket and sit down and watch me. I want them to be there. I want them to support me. I don't care about anybody else. They pay to see me. So if somebody's in the Colorado area and they say, I want to go see Jason Dredd, I'm going to tell them where to go. I'm going to tell them how to get there. And it doesn't matter if it's 5 people. It doesn't matter if it's 500 people. I'm going to do what I do regardless. I'm going to do the best of my ability because I am the best. So the crowd size does not even matter to me. I could go out and do a no crowd. And I would still do... Let me put this in a way that you would understand.
Well, I was going to say, regardless of... So you're not one of those wrestlers that has to feed off the crowd to be a better performer or a better wrestler. You just go in, regardless of who's watching, what's watching, you're just going to go and do the best you can damn do, no matter what.
Absolutely.
Because there is some wrestlers that just, honestly, they just can't wrestle without the crowd cheering their name or without, the little kids running up looking for an autograph. They need that to be a better wrestler.
I don't care about the kids' autographs. That doesn't make me a better performer. Signing that kid's T-shirt does not matter to me. What matters to me, again, is going out there and doing what I do best, and that is dominating.
And see, that's one of the reasons why you're best. You don't let the small bullshit get in the way of what has to be done wherever you're wrestling at.
Absolutely. That's when you hit that level, when you hit the level that I'm at, you don't care about who's watching you. You don't care about how many people are watching you because I know that whether it's 5 or 500 or 5 million, they came to see me.
So, like, pretty much in the words of another great wrestler, you're the whole effing show.
Absolutely.
Great. That just almost makes me want to just travel across the country and come to your next event. It really, really does. when I see people with this much fire and fury, it really just gets me to want to watch more.
Well, don't worry, because it's only a matter of time. I'm slowly making my way back to where I'm from. I have plans to work in the Memphis area, Alabama area, work in that Mid-South area territory, and then just working my way across the entire country.
That seems to be the best way to do it. Don't be stuck in one place too long. I mean, yes, it's cool to be, your local favorite hero, but you're going to be your local favorite hero forever unless you keep on going.
I see guys that talk about their wrestling bucket list, and I'm sure you've seen it too, where guys say, yeah, I want to wrestle in every single state in the United States. I want to wrestle in this country. I want to wrestle in that country. I don't just want to, I'm going to. They like to talk. They like to talk about how they're going to do this and how they're going to do that, how they want this and how they want that. But it's just talk. It's just them sitting behind a keyboard wishing. Jason Dredd doesn't wish. Jason Dredd achieves. So when I say that I will work in every single state in the United States, including Alaska, including Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Guam, I mean it.
Yeah, and I have no doubt that you won't succeed in doing that. I can tell just by the tone of voice. And I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people do like to talk. You are very correct about that. But talk is cheap in this world. It doesn't get you very far.
That's exactly right. Talk is cheap and actions are expensive.
They are, but they are well worth it.
Are you there?
Yes, I am. I was saying it is expensive, yes, but it is well worth it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's an investment.
So you're training now, you got this title fight coming up. Would this be your first time collecting gold?
It will be my first time collecting gold. It's not going to be my first title match, but it will be. This time it's different. This time I'm in a no disqualification, tap out only match. That means anything can happen, and when you're as driven as I am, you will do anything to get what you want. And what I want right now is that Renegade Championship belt. And like I said, I will do absolutely anything to get that.
So let me ask you, you have a strong submission game?
Absolutely. I'm one of the best submission wrestlers in the Southwest. As a matter of fact, I just solidified that this past weekend.
Oh, that is great. Because, I talk to my other buddy that's my co-host on this show. Like I said, he's off. We got two of our teams in the playoffs right now, so he's off collecting data and stuff. But we're always talking about that, that there's just not enough submission in wrestling anymore. People don't want to do it. People don't. Everything is just, a couple of jumps and big moves, and they want to do pile drivers, but nobody wants to make anybody submit. Everyone's afraid to get on the ground and grapple. You don't see people winning by the Boston Crab or the Camel Clutch anymore. They just don't want to put the effort in.
So, yeah, exactly. That's the problem right there, is they don't want to put in the effort. People are so worried about giving the fans what they want. The fans, they want this. They want you to fling yourself off the top rope or off of a ladder so that they can clap, so that they can cheer and go home happy. I don't care.
I've been a fan for 35 years. I don't even want to see that.
Do, and if that means that I have to rip somebody's arm out of its socket to do it, I will do that in a heartbeat. I would rip my own grandmother's arm out of her socket to get what I want. Imagine what I will do to somebody that I don't even like.
I feel bad for your opponent in this next match. I surely do.
And as well you should. He has an opportunity right now, actually, to step away from it, to put the belt down at my feet, or just hand it over, and he can go home happy. He can spend time with his family. and he can just forget everything that happens.
No broken legs, no broken arms, no trips to the hospital, just, good old-fashioned family time, and you can just leave you the title.
Absolutely. Or he can make that mistake and let the bell ring. That choice is on him. Because as soon as that bell rings, he's fair game. He's just blood in the water in an ocean full of sharks.
Well, that's going to be, hopefully he is smart enough to make the right decision. Like you said, he has a little time to decide.
Yeah, he's got, what day is it? Today is the 31st. He's got, let me pull up my calendar. He's got just about 2 weeks to figure out what he wants to do in this life before it's too late. And then I'm going to have to decide for him.
Well, that's plenty of time, I think, for someone to make up their mind. And like you said, if not, you'll have to decide for him. And I think I know which way that is going to go.
And you want to talk about submission wrestling. Let's talk about submission wrestling a little bit. This past weekend, I wrestled in Tucson, Arizona. I faced a guy that calls himself a wrestler. He emphasizes the fact that he is a wrestler and not an entertainer. Good for him. Absolutely good for him. I'm talking about Scott Sabbath. He calls himself the Arizona Ace. So I went to Tucson, Arizona, because they told me that he was the best wrestler that Tucson had to offer. I beat him in, I think it was about 10 minutes. Took me 10 minutes to beat him. So you tell me, is he really the best wrestler in Tucson? Not anymore.
No, there is definitely now a new best. And that's the thing. Anybody can say they're the best until they step into the ring with the best, and then they're going to learn.
Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Very true. Very, very true. And, like you said, you might have to prove yourself in every state you go to. Every state might say someone is the best.
Again, it's just all words until they prove it wrong.
You just keep doing that. And like I said, I'm a big submission fan, old school wrestling. I've been a fan for 35 years. Like I said, you just don't see the wrestlers want to put in the effort for it. They'd rather just, knock you out with some kind of Superman punch. They don't want to, like I said, get on the ground and maybe have to wrestle with you.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, I don't care if it's a knockout, a pin, a tap out, or somebody just deciding that that's not what they want right now, that they don't want to spend the night in the hospital, and they can give up before the match even starts. It doesn't matter.
Well, there is. And this match can get really bad. You said there was a no disqualification stipulation attached to it, correct?
Absolutely.
So it's just anything goes until someone taps.
Well, apparently they don't like the way that I do things there in Renegade Championship Wrestling. They don't like how I make my own success. And I think Jake the Snake said it best. You may not like the way that I do things, but I get the job done. So they honestly believe that making it a no DQ match is going to change anything. Is going to change it, and that's not going to change a thing. As a matter of fact, it just makes me more dangerous.
Just adding fuel to the fire, pretty much, huh?
Absolutely. Because they're now giving me free reign to do whatever I want to do. And that's dangerous.
That sounds dangerous. You sound like a dangerous adversary. You sound like somebody I wouldn't want to face in the ring. That I'd probably
I don't blame you. I wouldn't either.
Just because you have that drive and passion, why get in the way of that? You're not going to win. Why get in the way of it? Just step aside. And like you said, maybe this guy should step aside, drop the title, because he has no chance. Because you're not going to beat that kind of passion and desire.
I truly think that in his heart of hearts, he believes that he stands a chance. He was the first Renegade champion in that company, but I'm going to be the second, and I'm going to be the last. And he'll never see it again because I'm going to take it from all the way from Canyon City, Colorado, back to Memphis, Tennessee, and he's never going to see that championship title again.
That would be all she wrote. I tell you though, and that's great. And like I said, I love how you travel too. That's, another big thing. A lot of the wrestlers I do talk to, they travel, but it's all through just the territory that they work in. And you seem like you're really outstretched and you're really moving back, state to state at, very fast. Could be one night here and then, the next night you're over here.
Absolutely. And I've done that before. I went from Colorado on a Saturday. I drove from Albuquerque, New Mexico to Canyon City, Colorado, and then won my number one contendership match that night, and then went on to Phoenix, Arizona the next day.
All just to prove that you're the best.
Absolutely. I don't want to just be the best in one state. I don't want to be the best in just one company. I want to be the best in the entire region, in the entire country, in the entire world. If you're not looking for that, then you're wasting your time.
You want your name synonymous with professional wrestling.
Absolutely. Who wants to be the big fish in a small pond? Not me. I'm trying to be a big fish in the ocean.
Well, it sounds like you're doing a great job doing that and moving forward with it and all the plans that you have and the focus and the drive, and that ambition. And that will get you sometimes even further than just pure talent is that drive and ambition,
Absolutely. Again, if you're in this business or in any business and you're not looking to make it to the top of the mountain, then you're wasting your time. You're wasting my time. Get out of my way because I have my sights set on that peak, that pinnacle. And I'm not going to let anybody stand in my way. So if that's somebody else's prerogative, good for them, but get out of my way while I'm on my way to the top.
That's great. I love it. We are just about out of time right now here. Is there anything you want to say to new fans now? I'm sure you picked up a bunch of new fans. I'll be this will be dropping on YouTube and all across social media platforms. I'll be sharing it. They'll be listening.
Absolutely. So I'm going to drop my link tree right now, and that gives you access to my Instagram, my Facebook, my YouTube, and my merchandise. My link tree is linktr.ee or linktree /Jason Dredd. I also have an Instagram that's Jason Dredd Official. You can also find me on Facebook under Jason Dredd, and same with my YouTube. I'm just under Jason Dredd. So if you're out there listening and you want to know more about me, want to see what I do best, what I do better than anybody else, check out my link tree. Check me out. Hit me up. Buy the T-shirt. So definitely do that.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate it here. And you heard it, folks. Go check out his links. Go support indie wrestling. Go buy something. Spend a little money. It's okay. It's not going to kill you. Thank you again, Jason. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for giving me the time. And I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate you giving me that platform in New England.
Great, and hopefully someday we see you here. We would love to do it.
Absolutely.
Have yourself a great day.
Don't tell me what to do.
Well, there you hear it. Jason Dredd. What a fierce competitor. I mean, this really honestly, truly makes me want to go and travel down to these regions and watch this kid wrestle. He has, it sounds like tremendous talent, really good trainers, and, just that drive and ambition to just dominate, and not just in one promotion. He's talking, nationally, globally, really getting out there. I have to say, I always love bringing in guests, especially new ones, to the VSW. It is, a passion of mine just because it gets everybody, to know people. And if you are listening, please do, really, honestly, check him out. He gave you all his links. We'll share it, too, with this. And when we put this out, on YouTube and share the links, we'll put his stuff out, too, as well. And like I said, Disabled Wolf was not here. He is out there. As you know, 2 Boston sports teams are in the playoffs. Go Boston, go! And the other kids all are at work. It's just me, the Versace Stoner. But let's just talk a little bit about one thing that will be coming up shortly on the VSW. Soon we will have our Double or Nothing recap. It will probably be 2 parts, maybe even a third. So you're not going to want to miss that. That will be with me and Disabled Wolf. So we'll stay tuned for that. And like I said, check out Jason Dredd. Watch him kick ass across the country. And thank you, everybody. Have a good day. Versace Stoner out.